Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the English Master Podcast. This is your dedicated time and your safe space to relax, think deeply about life, and improve your English in the most natural way possible. I am Sarah.
And I am Asadullah. We are absolutely thrilled that you have decided to spend your time with us today. Whether you are driving on a long highway, cooking dinner in your kitchen, or just taking a quiet walk outside, we are here with you. We know that life can get incredibly busy and noisy, so we created this podcast to be a moment of peace in your day.
Exactly. And before we dive into today's deep topic, we really need to take a moment to say thank you. We spent hours yesterday reading through all the comments on our previous episodes. Your personal stories, your struggles with learning English, and your beautiful messages of support truly touch our hearts. We read every single one of them, and they give us the motivation to keep creating these long conversations for you.
It is true. This channel is no longer just a place to learn English vocabulary. It has become a real community. And today's topic is dedicated to a very special group of people in our community. Today, we are talking about the hidden power of quiet people.
The hidden power of quiet people. I love the sound of that. You know, society is constantly telling us that we need to be loud, outgoing, and talkative if we want to be successful. If you are quiet in a classroom, the teacher asks if you are okay. If you are quiet at a party, people think you are not having fun. We have created a world that rewards the loudest voice in the room.
That is so true, Sarah. We often confuse confidence with being loud. But today, we want to completely change that perspective. We want to talk about why being quiet, being an introvert, or simply choosing to listen more than you speak is actually a massive superpower.
And as always, to our wonderful listeners, please do not stress if you do not understand every single English word we use today. Just let the conversation flow around you. Listen to the rhythm of the language. Let your brain absorb the words naturally. By the end of this episode, you will have learned so much without even trying.
Let us start right at the beginning, Sarah. What does it actually mean to be a quiet person? Because I think a lot of people confuse being quiet with being shy. And those are two very completely different things.
Oh, absolutely. That is a brilliant point to start with. Being shy means you are afraid of social judgment. A shy person might want to speak, they might have a great idea, but the fear of what other people think stops them. It is driven by anxiety. But being quiet, or being an introvert, is completely different.
Yes. A quiet person simply prefers a calmer environment. They do not feel the need to fill every silence with words. They speak when they actually have something valuable to say, not just for the sake of making noise.
Exactly. Let me tell you a story about a friend of mine from university. His name was David. In our group projects, everyone would be shouting their ideas, trying to be the leader. Everyone wanted to be the one talking. But David would just sit there, very calmly, writing notes in his notebook. For the first 20 minutes, he wouldn't say a single word.
I bet some people thought he wasn't participating or didn't care about the project.
Yes, the louder students thought he was slow. But then, after 20 minutes of complete chaos, David would slowly put his pen down, look up, and say one or two sentences. And those two sentences would completely solve the entire problem we were arguing about. He had spent that whole time observing, listening, and analyzing, while everyone else was just competing to be heard.
That is a perfect example of the hidden power of quiet people. Observation. You cannot truly listen if you are already planning your next sentence. But quiet people are masters of input. They absorb everything.
They really do. And this deep observation leads to a very high level of empathy. Quiet people usually make the best friends because they actually listen to understand.
I completely agree. Let's talk about the biological side. Psychologists found that quiet people process information through a longer, more complex pathway in the brain. They think deeply before they act.
That makes so much sense. And you know, Asadullah, this connects perfectly to learning English. I see this all the time. The loudest students are not always the best learners in the long run.
Really? Tell me more about that.
Language learning is actually about internal processing. Quiet students are doing incredible work inside their minds. They are listening carefully to the pronunciation, they are noticing the grammar structures, and absorbing the vocabulary in silence.
So, their silence is actually a highly active state of learning.
Exactly. So, if you are a quiet person, please know that your quietness is an advantage in language learning.
I have experienced that myself. There is a word for that feeling: burnout. When you try to be someone you are not, you burn out your energy. The key is to embrace your quiet nature. You have to protect your energy. If you need to spend the entire weekend reading a book in your room to recharge your batteries, you should do that without feeling guilty.
Absolutely no guilt. Some of the most powerful and influential people in human history were known for being incredibly quiet and introverted. Think about Albert Einstein, Rosa Parks, Bill Gates, or even famous writers like J.K. Rowling. They did not change the world by shouting. They changed the world through their deep focus, their quiet determination, and their brilliant ideas that were born in solitude.
That is a beautiful way to look at it. Quiet power is like a deep river. The water on the surface of a shallow river makes a lot of noise as it crashes over the rocks. But a deep river is completely silent on the surface. Yet the current underneath is incredibly strong and powerful.
Wow. A deep river is completely silent on the surface. That is the perfect metaphor for introverts, Asadullah.
So, what advice would we give to our listeners who are quiet people, trying to survive and succeed in a noisy world?
My first piece of advice would be, stop apologizing for your nature. If someone asks, "Why are you so quiet?" you do not need to feel embarrassed. You can simply smile and say, "I am just listening," or "I am just taking it all in." Own your silence. Use it with confidence.
And my advice would be to create quiet spaces in your daily life. Guard your peace very carefully, because your peace is the source of your strength.
That is wonderful advice. And now, as we move towards the end of our podcast, let us review some of the powerful English vocabulary we used today. This is our word tour.
Let's start. Word number 1, introvert. An introvert is a person who gains energy by spending time alone. For example, because she is an introvert, she prefers reading at home.
Our second word is observe. To observe means to watch carefully, to notice things. For instance, he decided to quietly observe the meeting.
The third word is empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand the feelings of another person. Nurses need to have a lot of empathy for their patients.
Our fourth word is drained. If you feel drained, you feel completely exhausted. The long party left her feeling mentally drained.
And our final phrase, burnout. Burnout is exhaustion caused by too much stress. Take time to rest to avoid professional burnout.
Those are fantastic words. Try to practice them in the comments below. We would love to read your sentences.
We really would. And remember our question. Are you a quiet person or a loud person? Tell us in the comments.
Whether you are loud or quiet, you are a valued member of this family. Keep practicing, keep listening, and keep moving forward.
Thank you for your time today. Wish you a beautiful week ahead. Take care of yourselves and your English.
Goodbye, everyone. See you in the next episode.
Goodbye.